Good evening, Bruin fans, and welcome to another edition of Something Bruin with Coach Cook here in our fourth season, week 3. And Coach Cook, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Rags. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm doing great, and
Good.
we're just here on the eve of another home night here for Bruin varsity football there tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We had an awesome crowd last week. Obviously, the outcome isn't what we wanted opening here at Western Branch, but our boys competed well and feels good to be able to coach on Friday nights again under the lights.
Yeah, and the thing is last year we played Benedictine, and put him back on the schedule here this year. I don't know who the second non-conference opponent is for Grassfield and Oscar Smith, but we back-to-back years playing Benedictine private school. They can be 19, 20 years old. I mean, so you definitely here want to test our players and play a tough schedule and get them ready here for the grueling of the season, and then definitely when the playoffs come.
Absolutely. I was very proud with our guys. They were not afraid. They came with a chip on their shoulder, and I think the offseason really showed up. They did a phenomenal job. The stat column says a lot. It was a winnable game when you look at the stats. I believe we were 3 of 12, and they were 3 of 9 on third down. We had close to 196 on the ground to their 206, or total offense, 196 to their 206. And Cook was threw for 94 yards, and their quarterback threw for 41. So when you look at the stat column, just completely, it was the game that we could have won. Age is one thing, but football is another. My hat goes off to Coach Lilly and his staff and how they go about it. But I was very pleased with our Bruins. I was very pleased.
Yeah, and the thing is the first drive, a little, a great opening drive, and even with taking it there inside the 5, here it is, opening drive of the game. Definitely want to go for it on fourth down because we definitely have, this is a team game, so the offense was stopped there on fourth down, but based on field position, our defense came through here on the second play there for Benedictine and took it to the house, and we were on the board.
Yeah, in the red zone, we had a few miscues, on each play of the four downs that we were being aggressive offensively. Just that's what hurts you more than it helps you when you don't have all 11 on the same page. But yeah, turning the page, and obviously Benedictine were back inside their end zone on the third or 3 or 4 yard line, and big play Jay Murray, made a
Yeah.
great football play. Ended up taking a pick six to the house, and momentum came right back. Talking about the first drive and how we were able to get down the field and threaten the score, and then Jay Murray on one of those miscues made it up right after that when he got on defense, and that was awesome to see.
Yeah, yeah, and and the other thing is I mean, Parker, came up with another, pick six. This was like 52 yarder, and just a great game here, and things didn't fall where we liked it, but hey, come this past Monday, it's time to where we can learn from the miscues and get ready here for as we open up district play there tomorrow night.
Yeah, something I saw promising after we watched film Saturday as a position group, offensively, defensively, special teams, even JV were able to watch film. The kids started to communicate more via group chat and text messages about away from the game of football. And to me, that was rewarding. Watching our guys come together as one by position groups, start talking the game of football as it applies to our upcoming opponent.
Yeah, and and the thing is we hear about it, with opening of college football, how we won earlier in the season, and here with high school football, it was last week here, now it's time to balance school, both with football and here it is. Kings Fork had a bye last week, but it's time to come together as a team and let's get ready for the home game tomorrow night.
Yeah, I missed some of that message, Mark, that you shared, but coming together as a team is key. Learning how to move on. And every year I share with our players, as fans on Saturday and Sunday, we're very upset and can't understand why we lost. But those players are smiling and hugging and jersey swapping and taking pictures and stuff like that because they understand it's a short-lived memory.
Right.
They got to move on to the next opponent. If they continue to dwell, then they're going to be stuck in the same moment and then another dogfight with another quality opponent. So, for us, yeah, we have to turn the page. We had to turn the page, and we had to move on. And it started with our coaches chat. I challenged our staff not to look at the negative things that occurred because we should already know what it looked like as a staff. But what are some positives we took away from Benedictine that we could carry into our next opponent that we have coming up?
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean the deep pass that was deep in Derek was deep in our territory and
Correct.
threw one down the sidelines. I thought Frazier caught it, but I was totally diagonally from the catch and couple other things that the ball would have bounced our way, but it is what it is, and time to get ready here for I know last year with playing at Kings Fork, the lightning, the weather that moved over to Saturday, the lightning delays. I know that the kids are ready here to host Kings Fork there tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's been a different week. We always say it's something going into this week. One year it was heat. The next year it was like a school threat or something to that nature where all after school activities were canceled and, just all those things. But we don't make excuses. And that's what I shared with our staff yesterday. We touched that sign leaving the locker room and our players as well to not make excuses in our day to day, week to week, and hour to hour decisions that we make. So it's just a part of just getting ready to come to balance. But I'm gonna say this: C.J. Frazier is going to be a big time player for us. It's the chemistry now. Those guys are spending time after practice with Cook, Trey Miller, Joshua Simpson Jr. Those guys are spending more than like 15, 20 minutes after practice ends for one-on-one play time, and they're working on just the chemistry, the gel. And it's just a matter of time before that 6'1", 195-pound receiver start making big-time plays. But he's super athletic, multi-dynamic, and could do many things for us. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, we got Kings Ford this week. It's just another week to get ready, another game. We put no pressure on our kids. We just need to go out and play a complete game, 48 minutes, and a good brand of Bruin football. And I think we could definitely make some noise.
Yeah, and you know what? It's also nice. I mean, I know that Mr. Hicks and the current administration, come out to just about every home game, but it was also nice to see Dr. Whitley,
Yes,
out there, being the principal when you were named head coach, but him coming out supporting the team when his schedule allows.
correct, absolutely. And to Dr. Whitley's credit, I'm sure he was there for both teams that
Right.
represents the southeastern districts. I don't want to paint a picture where he's, only signed with one program. But, Dr. Whitley has been phenomenal, and from the hiring process to, the transition through COVID, and even, getting ready for his departure to leave, but welcoming, Mr. Hicks as the leader. And Mr. Hicks has been phenomenal, as I say many times, in the support of this program and our young men. So it's been great, and it was good to see some of those guys show up to support both programs. Ideally, I know last Saturday, Friday, he was there for Western Branch. As Benedictine isn't, but Dr. Whitley's been to multiple games, Southeastern District play, and that's why I wanted to highlight. I'm sure his heart is as a Bruin, but he's there for all, young men and coaches alike that represent the Southeastern District. But yeah, so it was great to see. It was good to see you too, Mark. It was
Yeah.
good to see you, and we had some guests that came to feed our student athletes after the game, and our kids and our staff were very pleased and honored. So if you want to touch on that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, where Elizabeth and I go to church, the Harborview campus of Liberty Live. The campus pastor Corbett Castine and the youth pastor Alex Randolph. They reached out to me here about middle of August. About seeing where they can reach out to the program, and I know that you and there with the post game meal, and it worked out here with just showing the light of Christ here with the football players and the staff, and then there at the end, you were able to spend a few minutes and
Yeah.
talk a little bit more to him, and then my friend Kevin Brandel was out there as well as Corbett's dad,
Yes.
Sam Castine, to help feed the team.
Absolutely. It was awesome. It was fun. It's great to see our community, again, coming back, giving back, and our kids also being thankful and grateful. It was awesome for me to sit back real quick after a tough game and a lot of things going through my mind and have a conversation as well, talk about our program, the goal, vision, and path that we have, the type of staff that we have, our men that we have around our players and support staff. So it was awesome. It was a great evening of support and good, opportunity for our kids to have a one-stop shop of getting something to eat and going home and looking at film,
Yeah.
looking at film. But awesome.
And the other thing is with the kids being able and the staff eating as a team
Yeah.
there at the end, instead of everybody going their separate ways.
Separate ways, 100%. That's what it's about. We like to say we're different, we're unique and different at Western Branch, and a lot of Bruin alums can really tell you, looking outside or being on the outside now, looking at other schools, maybe they have kids at different schools. Our program is unique and rich in history, and that's a testament to all the coaches who have come through this program, all the leaders who have been a part of the leadership of this school, the school community, and it just feels good to be a part of that as a once a student, now a pillar of the school community and a leader within the school as well.
Yeah, and I think I'll that will go right into our second segment here to talk about the JV football program. I
Yes,
mean, with Coach Duncan, being the head coach here of JV football, and him personally not being a Bruin alum, but
right,
definitely his parents, his aunt, his dad's cousins, one of my great friends that I grew up with. I mean, and so just with his family stake in the Bruin community, and here, with his adult life, he was a staff member at middle school, but has now come to the high school and
correct.
be the head. I know that he's been your assistant, but then this year being the head coach of JV, and going out there to Lake Taylor and Bruin JV, going 1-0 there last week.
Correct. Hats off to Lake Taylor. Coach Sawyer, his staff always has a pretty physical, aggressive football team. Very disciplined, very sound in their craft. I think we saw a lot of what our Bruins can be, and we understand it's a marathon, not a sprint. But Coach Duncan definitely got it done. And at the end of the game, watching his excitement, I think I was 11 years younger around the time I took over as a head JV coach at La Plata High School in Charles County, Maryland.
Right.
But just me now at 21 seasons later, it's
Yeah.
like, dude, I couldn't even run like he did, in excitement. So I was very happy for him. Our kids were excited and stoked. And, it just goes to show that the culture is staying the culture. And coach is coaching them hard. He's holding them accountable. And, just want to see nothing but the best out of these young men. So I was very happy for him. I gave him a hug. And Mr. Hicks was with us, and we both dapped him up and said, congratulations, excellent job. And so very pleased, and his family is awesome. Huge
Yeah.
supporters of Western Branch High School, Western Branch football. And, it's just great to see. I think he got a little Bruin running in his veins, even
Right.
though he has to claim, his school up north. But
Right.
he's a Bruin,
Yeah.
100%. Honorary Bruin, if anything.
And another thing, when talking to his parents, after the game, I mean, just his parents, just talking about the support of the school, the support of the varsity football program that
Right.
not only came out to support the JV program, but here with Robbie's first game, it also shows how, hey, you might be a varsity player, but hey, that the JV players look up to you. So with being part of one program, let's go out and support JV football as they started their season.
Correct, absolutely. And that's the beauty of our program. And the learning curve for our young guys speeds up a lot quicker when you have that high level development, from a varsity coach all the way down to an incoming freshman, and it's by position group. So again, it's just kind of neat to see that platform being uh, installed and continue to be installed. And it keeps our coaches grounded. To me, I've been on staffs where JV was JV, varsity was varsity. One does something, the other one doesn't do anything. And to me, it keeps that division or lack of division separated from rearing its ugly head as far as a cohesive coaching staff. And I am just blessed to have so many great men in my circle and to my left and my right that I get to work with. I try to do right by them. I try to treat them as best as I can, give them the breaks they deserve, give them the breaks that they need. And then when we got to go, they return that favor right back full tilt.
Yeah, and as we move into our next segment, I mean, I know that Eric Santamaro and I, we got our 30-year reunion coming up, which reunions usually happen the fall, after you graduate, but 30 years ago here for Bruin football, the fall of '94, I mean, that was pretty much the time where Bruin football was starting to compete
Turn the
here for
corner.
district championships, and
Yeah.
being part of top tier southeastern district in football. And looking back, there's people that paved the way and had success, but they're here the fall of '94 with that senior class of '95, you know kids that just the success was riding high.
Correct, absolutely. And I was just entering high school, but I came into it with a lot of great guys, seniors really, that,
Yeah.
that understood the assignment. But they've also went to battle with, as you mentioned, Coach E and guys like that way before TJ Giles, all those guys, Ronald Giles, and so it was awesome to see. I think the biggest thing right now is just embracing the history and culture. And coming into that, we turned the page. I say we, I was a part of that varsity staff a little bit later on in the season, but that was 7-3. And then the finals the next season, 95, 96, Sharon Lorenzo Ferguson, those guys, Tavis Graves, Daryl Walton, they ended up going 8-2, and I was on that team as well
Right.
throughout the whole season. And so you just seen a progression of where the trend was going, and that season was for a district title versus Deep Creek. You lost the early one to IC Norcom or Churchland or maybe Indian River snuck up and got us, but that year I think it was Indian River and it was Lake Taylor that tripped us up at Harbor Park. And kudos to Coach Parker and all the staffs and team and players that we played against from those teams respectfully. But it really, you saw it. And the legacy that class left behind a legacy of carrying that torch. And it wasn't until 2 more years later, in 97, from the 95 season to 97, that the Bruins went 10-0 for the first time in school history. And I believe '02 team came right behind with a 10-0 season, right after. So we've had multiple undefeated seasons and some guys that could really get after it over the years. So I just like to honor all the Bruins. I know that sounds like taking a high road, but it's so much legacy and so many guys that have paved the way for our current Bruins on this roster that you can't discount anybody.
Yeah, and I know with the golf event that we had, Rick Corey and David Cox and
Correct.
Coach Arculin even came into town to participate. So here was a former coach, and then Bruin alums,
Yes.
that pretty much paved the way for when our class was coming through, and then you and Keith and Magic and and the Walton brothers,
Yep.
and
Yep.
so on, and just people continuing here to support Bruin football.
Correct, and the pride is there too.
Yes.
Coach Cox and all those guys, they believe in Western Branch football just like they did when they played the game. It's kind of neat, talking to those guys and legends, but it's a legacy, and that's one thing we talk to our kids about. Just being a legacy Bruin, being a Bruin that stuck through this time of the high school transfer portal and every other coach is telling you what we're not doing right, but yet when you see things through, that changes a lot. And I don't believe it just happens in our area. I believe that's just high school football now across the nation. And, you just got to grow with times and believe in who you are and what you do. Keep good people around them and keep the support around them that they need. And it all comes back full circle. But very, very pleased and thankful for the role I'm in.
Yes, and Rashad, I mean, I know that Thursday more like a walkthrough, and
Yep.
but I know that you need to go out and finish up here with varsity practice, and fans go to gofan.com, search Western Branch High School with with it being a Bruin home game,
Correct.
electronic ticketing. But stay tuned here as to be determined of when week four's episode will come on, because a week from tonight we go out to Hickory.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So it's a Thursday night game, kind of what the kids see on Thursday nights on the college level. But, we'll be prepared. It's going to be a short week, but we'll find a way to come to balance and get ready for, a trending Hickory football team. They're doing a great job over there coaching and developing those young men. And, we just got to get through this week. We're focused on this week. And then that short week going into the 18th, I believe, if my dates are right. We'll be on the other side of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Yeah, and when you talk about Bruin football, and next week with our opponent Hickory, and I know somebody that tunes in you
And I,
know, we
yep.
we definitely have to bring up Coach Decker. You
Absolutely. He's a legend. He's a
know?
legend, but
Right,
he's done it in multiple schools.
right.
Sometimes it's all about the one school you're at. But one thing I believe in as a coach and, educator, the more lives you can impact, the more opportunities that people could be successful in life. And we can't be keepers of the gate with the gift that we've been blessed with as educators and coaches and teachers and mentors and leaders. And he's done it at both schools, so it's awesome to see. But he's a Bruin alum, so I already know, he wants to keep up with what's going on. I want to give a shout out to Coach Mike Donovan. He sent me
Yes.
an email about 2 weeks ago. My schedule has been kind of busy, but I wanted to give him his flowers, just say thank you for reaching out and empowering me, understanding that this leadership role is not easy. And
Yeah.
just want to say thank you, Coach. I will get back with you as soon as possible. But I just appreciate, some of the guys that have really allowed us and taught us to be who we are and be better versions of who we were when we were younger, are still reaching out and checking in on us.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that note because
Yes, sir.
Coach Donovan definitely knew my brother Mike Ragsdale, and things didn't work out for me to take broadcasting at the tech center. So I had to, enroll fully at Western Branch when I was a junior, and
Right,
ended up going to Mr. Donovan's class. And yes, I was in chorus, but it was his class at the end of the year that he told me on the spot, sing the national anthem in front of class. And it's just crazy seeing his son now have a family of his own, because
right.
that kid was just little when I had his dad as a
Right.
US history teacher.
Right, absolutely. I remember his son, on the sidelines every now and again, throwing the
Yeah.
football to himself. But just wanted to give him a thank you. I'm gonna definitely send him a note. Another person, I call him a young man, but wise, uh, Coach Sam Warren. Again,
Yeah.
not to get long winded, but he's been behind the scenes and checking in weekly or at least every other week. And I just want to end it with that. Just thank you to all the support that I've had, that we've had as a program, and just keep doing good things for all of us.
Yeah, and with Coach Warren, Elizabeth and I were going to Chrysler Hall here tonight, and definitely, Coach Warren's daughter,
Yes,
Adrian, Bruin alum, but has definitely done well there in the actress field.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
but all right, Rashad. Well, hey, hey, when you got all this brewing pride,
Hey,
hey, with the connections, but hey, I know you have to run, and
yes,
appreciate your time here with this consistent drumbeat here for
yep.
Bruin football into the community. So go Bruins, and I'll be out there tomorrow night.
All right, pack the den. Go
All right.
Bruins.
Yes. All right.